What do we got here? What do we got here? Project 2029. This sounds familiar. They're trying to create their own Project 2029. Like, I don't know. Like, is culture just, like, completely dead in America? Like, is no one capable of being able to ever, like, sort of formulate their own sort of, like, cultural ideas anymore or something? Is culture just dead? I guess, like, politically speaking? I don't know. I guess in terms of media for America, not so much. I heard the new Superman movie was like really good or something. Palestinian allegory and whatnot. Going on a tangent here. That's besides the point. I just mostly want to see and learn about what this Project 2029 sort of entails. I want to know what you think they should include. I just want to know what they include. Let's see. Let's take a look. As the Democrat Party begins to prepare for the next presidential election in 2028, the New York Times reported that they're working on a new policy agenda as they hope to draft a ready-made agenda for the next Democratic presidential nominee. I feel like this is something that you should just do in general, right? Like, Joe Biden had a ready-made agenda already. The problem is that Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin decided to fucking get in the way of it because they're just ghouls who get paid by corporate money. And, like, that's all they basically existed for. It's just like, well, we're getting our corporate cash, so we're just gonna stop everything because fuck you. We hate the American people kind of a deal. Whatever. What can you do? They're calling it Project 2029, playing off of the conservative Project 2025 plan that Republicans began enacting after President Trump took office. I mean, like, are there things like the Federalist Society that exists, broadly speaking, for, like, the Democrats in terms of what? Like, consultancy firms? I assume probably yes, but I mean, if that's the case, I'm not expecting really much of anything from this, like, complete dog shit, potential dog shit from Project 2029. I don't know why we're going with, like, the same branding as Project 2025. I feel like that branding is pretty poisoned, not great. Probably shouldn't be going ahead with that stuff, but, you know. What do we got here? So, if you've got an idea what you'd like to see included in the Democrats' new plan, we'd love to hear about it. For example, you'd like to see the Democrats double down on solidified paternal/maternity leave and child care. Well, see, here's the thing. That was actually fucking, solidified, but it was allowed to sunset because of really idiotic reasons. Like, that cut childcare in half, or not cut childcare, child poverty in half within the United States of America. And it was a highly popular, successful policy that the Democrats just kind of decided to let it sunset because of Joe Manchin and Kirsten Sinema being, well, demons. Mostly them being fucking demons. In the U.S. today, eligible employees are guaranteed 12 weeks of unpaid leave federally, though several states and employers do offer more. The U.S. also offers the least contributions to child care compared to other wealthy nations. Or maybe you're dead set on having Democrats embrace single-payer health care this time round. With the recent changes to Medicaid and the ACA under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, healthcare coverage and costs are likely to be an important topic in the 2028 elections. Wait, I'm curious, is this not going to go over anything that's within Project 2029? Is that only, like, reported in the New York Times article, which you don't have access to because you have to fucking pay for that shit? Maybe you want to hear about how they're going to rehire the experts fired by Doge, putting funding back to previously cut scientific researches and grants. Dude, why is there so... God, there's so many fucking images. Jesus. You could be looking for a solid plan for making housing more affordable and creating more opportunities for first-time home buyers. Currently, home building and maintenance costs are likely to increase under President Trump's tariffs. I mean, they're saying a bunch of true stuff. Like, nothing to really argue with here. You know, this would be a bunch of good shit. Or perhaps you feel like it's time for Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico to become fully fledged states. Washington, D.C., yeah, should probably become a state, right? Puerto Rico, I personally think that should be up to the Puerto Ricans if they want to fucking become a fully fledged state. They should have their own referendum for that one first, and then possibly... No, honestly, actually, no. I was also going to involve, like, Congress in this, because technically it's Congress who's supposed to do this. No, I think it should just be the Puerto Ricans who ultimately decide that. I don't think that should be done through Congress. I'll be quite honest, right? That should be a referendum only held by the Puerto Rican government. I'll be quite honest. DC currently has representation in Congress without actual voting power, and 57% of Puerto Ricans voted to become a state in 2024. Well, there's a referendum, and they vote for it. They can become a state. No problem. I don't think that should be up to Congress, personally. But that's never going to happen because the Republicans are going to try to get in the way as much as possible because, again, that'll be 4 more Democratic senators, right? 4 more of them, and it would be like a complete shit show disaster for the party, right? Like, it would be harder than ever for the Republican Party to be able to have any power within the Senate, like, unless the Democrats somehow bungle extremely hardcore. But I mean, that's something that can certainly happen. I don't think it's like a ridiculous assertion. Even if it's something improbable, like setting a national standard for a 4-day work week, we want to hear about it. Wait, what else is in there? Nothing? Tell us anything you want to see, you'd want to see in the Project 2029 plan for the Democratic Party in the comments below, or you can fill out the Google form below if you prefer to remain anonymous. Dude, hello? What's in the platform? That's what I'm curious. Is there nothing? I can't look at the New York Times fucking article because, again, that's just going to be completely fucking blocked. Like, they lay the groundwork for it. Oh, am I good? Never mind. Haha, I didn't get fucked over. Thank you. Let's see. Well, here's the actual New York Times article on Project 2029. They're calling it Project 2029, Old Truism. Mr. Cherney, the co-founder of the nearly 2-decade-old liberal policy journal, is organizing a group of Democratic thinkers to recreate what Trump's allies did when he was voted out of office. Draft a ready-made agenda for the next Democratic presidential nominee. Who's Mr. Cherney? Who's Andre Cherney? One-time Democratic speechwriter and state party leader. Boy, do you know who this is? I have no idea who the fuck this is. I'm curious. Is this guy an Abunda guy? If it's Abunda shit, no. Fuck that, dude. American politician and businessman. Co-founded Aspiration, Inc., an eco-friendly financial firm based in Marina Del Rey, California. A finance bro. I'm a little inherently suspicious. Heard of that company, but not this guy. I'm skeptical, though. Yeah, I'm also a little skeptical because typically most finance bros are gonna be fucking Abunda guys, okay? Abunda guys? Fuck that bullshit. Absolutely the fuck not. Because it's just gonna be like not addressing the main sort of power structures that exist, right? Like, if this guy is like, I don't know, a social democrat for some fucking reason, highly doubt it, then okay, cool, fantastic. But like, typically dudes like this are just like fucking Abunda dumbasses. Calling it Project 2029. Unsettled play on Project 2025. Produced right-wing agenda. Much of last year's campaign that he used distancing from, which was a bunch of bullshit. Mr. Cherney's publication, Democracy, a Journal of Ideas. The goal is to turn it into a book, just like Project 2025, and to rally leading Democratic presidential candidates behind those ideas during the 2028 primary season. Okay? Undertaking, which was not previously been reported, strikes at the heart of a raging debate consuming Democratic lawmakers, strategists, and policymakers. Whether the root of the party's problem is its ideas or its difficulty in persuading people to embrace them. No, it's the problem is that you people don't fucking believe in anything. That's the problem. The Democratic Party believes in fucking nothing, bro. That's the main issue. So, what? Zohran Mamdani, huh? What do we got here? The surprise success of Assemblymember Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist, in the New York mayoral primary only added fuel to that debate. Did he succeed because of the audacity of his ideas? Freeze the rent, free buses, and free childcare? Yes. Yeah, there you go. I answered the question. Or because of the clarity and simplicity of those phrases? No, it's because people support these policies. They're very popular within New York. Not because they're, like, really easy to grasp onto. That's just a bonus. But just because these are just good policy. Yeah, exactly. Boy Meets Mini. They would also fix the system. Was it his relentless focus on affordability, and would it have worked if he weren't as charismatic and savvy at social media as he proved to be? Want to contribute to anything except the fucking policies. It's actually fucking crazy. Many strategists see the party's issue as more style than substance, arguing that Democrats need to do a better job of packaging and delivering their plans to voters rather than crafting new proposals entirely. I disagree with this, dude. The final year of the Joe Biden presidency was like wholeheartedly emblematic of that, right? Like, just a complete cipher belief in fucking nothing. Again, I've talked about Joe Biden's like domestic fucking policy. It was pretty all right, like not the worst thing on the fucking planet, but like the main problem is that the Democrats just didn't believe in anything during the election cycle. Like Kamala Harris didn't stake a claim on much of fucking anything, right? Like we can go through policies that she probably has, but she never really like talked about vote the really good policies he had like fucking vociferously. So it makes you think, does she actually believe in those things, or is she saying that to get into power? It's silly. Ms. Lake compared the complaint that Democrats presented voters with agencies and acronyms and statistics rather than with a clear story about what we're going to fight for. Wait a minute. Maybe Celinda Lake isn't stupid. We fact a functioning narrative to communicate those policies. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Yes, I agree with this. Quite literally. Because when Republicans talk about a thing, right, they talk about how it's going to benefit them in the future. Obviously, it's not, and it's a lie, and it's typically abhorrent dog shit. But they at least talk about a vision for the fucking future. Something for people to be able to glam onto and just be excited about. Democrats don't do that. So, okay. I see you. Celinda. I see you. Miss Lake complained. I actually see acronyms of what we're fighting for. An innovative, refundable tax rebate, in other words, would not suddenly unlock the Electoral College. Can't really disagree with that there. Others believe the party has been losing ground nationally because its ideals are stale, uninspiring, and unresponsive to the demands of today's voters. That's not the reason, right? The ideas the Democrats believe in are fine. The issue is that they don't really like have a narrative and make it seem like they don't really actually believe in it. Policy wise, the Democrats are generally better than the Republicans. That's not hyperbole. Like Joe Biden had fine policy. The main issue is that like his brain was leaking out of his ear most of the time, and he didn't really make it look like he really truly believed in it. It's very silly. And same with like the rest of the party apparatus. Like we all know, again, Joe Manchin and fucking Kirsten Sinema would always get in the way of Joe Biden's agenda constantly, making it like a worse, decrepit version of what it was. So it makes that sort of like belief in like a narrative and sort of belief that an idea that the Democrats believe in something seemed like way more ineffective. But I don't think Joe Manchin's in the Senate anymore, and Kirsten Sinema has been RKO'd, so because she sucks. But whatever. Neera Tanden, who served in the White House in the Clinton, Obama, and Biden administration, now leads the Center of American Progress. Neera Tanden said that for years Democrats have failed to appreciate the role that Mr. Trump's policies have played in his success. Huh? What? Trump's policies are incredibly fucking unpopular. What the fuck are you talking about? No, he's just able to easily dupe the fucking lumpen proletariat with like really easy fucking catchphrases. It's nonsense. Trump's ideas are fucking dog shit, Neera. Like, what are you talking about? Miss Tanden is part of a sizable advisory board for Project 2025. Oh, Jake Sullivan's also there. Oh. God. Really? All right. I think Project 2029 is fucking dog shit. If it's fucking Neera Tanden and Jake fucking Sullivan, the national security advisor who did like, I don't know, all the all the deflections possible for fucking Israel. Oh, God. I don't know who Anne Marie Slaughter is. Her last name is Slaughter? That's a fucking hard... That's a hard last name. The chief executive of New America, the economist Justin Wolfers, Felicia Wong, and until recently the president of the Progressive Roosevelt Institute, and Jim Kessler, founder of the centrist group Third Way. Okay, never mind. This is gonna be dog shit. All right, we have like Third Way dipshit in here. We got Neeratan, fucking Jake Sullivan, who love to get on the fucking podium to deflect for fucking Israel's genocide. So yeah, very very cool. I'm starting to think that Project 2029 here might be complete dog shit. Just a thought. Mr. Cherney, now president of the journal he helped create, called the Assemblance the Avengers of Public Policy, or the Justice League. Oh, it's the movie reference. Oh, soy. So, oh, whoa, heckin' Justice League. People know what the Justice League is. They know the Avengers. Oh, soy. Oh. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Like, come on, dude. This shit's not gonna be fucking serious. Group plans to hold public conferences to hammer out their differences on topics including the economy, national security, government reform, and education. Some would-be allies are skeptical. Yeah. That such an ideological, diverse, and divergent set of policy minds could craft anything close to a coherent agenda. Okay, dude. Sure, man. Yeah, very ideologically diverse. Neeratan, Jake Sullivan, and other, like, just state fucking ghouls and stuff like that. Yeah. Totally. Developing policies by checking every coalitional box is how we got in the mess in the first place. No, that's not the problem. It's because you people don't fucking believe in anything. Said Adam Gentleson, who has spent recent months preparing to open a new think tank called Searchlight. Oh boy, more think tanks. That's exactly what we need. There's no way to propose the kind of policies the Democratic Party needs to adopt without pissing off some part of the interest group Borg. Alright, who's getting thrown? Who wants to make... We're making bets. Alright, who wants to make bets? Trans people are probably going to be thrown more under the bus. Alright, that's probably a guarantee, right? More than so than what Biden already fucking did. What else is getting thrown under the bus? I don't know, like... actual good, maybe like economic emancipation for the proletariat or some shit. That's probably getting thrown under the bus or some shit. What else? Good policy? What else is going to get thrown under the bus? Maybe even a public option or something. Who the fuck knows? If you're too afraid to do that, you don't have what it takes to steer the party in the right direction. Sure, man. Mr. Cherney's little-known Democracy Quarterly has quietly helped to shape Democratic administration. 6 of Biden's cabinet-level appointees at what point published essays in the journal years before she won her seat. Senate Elizabeth Warren outlines in her pages for her plans for what eventually became the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Wait. Cabinet level appointees at one point published essays in the journal. Years before she won her seat in the Senate, Elizabeth Warren outlined in its pages her plans for what would eventually become the CFPB. I'm so confused, right? Like, this guy had a hand in playing to make the CFPB? Huh? I'm a little confused. Robust fights happening in Democratic intellectuals. Oh, hey, here's the fucking Abunda agenda. Fighting oligarchy tour. Very cool. Between a populist wing that wants to cast corporations and billionaires as villains. Well... they kind of are villains, let's be honest here. It's not that fucking simple to say, like, populism, again, casts corporations and billionaires as villains, okay? It's really easy to make that a political rallying cry, let's be honest here, right? Broadly speaking, everyone could see how bad the corporate oligarchy is, and none of you motherfuckers are really doing anything about it, so that's why people are kind of, like, sick and tired of the Democrats, but whatever. And obviously the Abunda agenda, which Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson don't really sort of address any of the problems from, well, corporations and billionaires. So that's cool. Seek to work with corporate. Yeah, see, supporters of the abundance approach seek to work with corporations. People don't want to work with corporations. Like that's the thing. Like quite literally, there will be no green transition without corporate ingenuity. The ingenuity already fucking exists. Okay, you just need to make the fucking corporations and the fossil fuel interest bend to your knee. That's what you need to fucking do. Cut through regulation and achieve progressive outcomes more quickly. Yeah. Totally. We already know, like, Ezra Klein's position is that he just wants to blame all of the populists and the fucking goddamn more left-leaning people for as to why effective corporate not corporate policy, but why effective sort of progressive policy does not, well, get implemented into place. Corporate policy, no problem, easy, that'll always fucking pass, depending on how egregious it is, but abundance is not doesn't poll well with Democrats. Like, let's be quite honest here. Like, and I don't think that's Project 2029 shit. I don't think it's going to do all too well either. I guess it depends on what's in there, but if it's, like, again, like, Neera Tanden, Jake Sullivan, and third-way Democrat, like, dipshittery that's in there, I'm not really expecting much of anything to come out of it, to be quite honest. Nick Gurevich? Whatever. A Democratic pollster said that policies matter, but so does context in which they are presented to voters. That's true. He said it's imperative for Democrats to tell voters that they think the existing system stinks, not to just propose ideas. That is true. Okay. Saying that the tax system was rigged to favor the rich, he said, made Democratic proposals to make corporations and the wealthy pay their fair share 9% points more popular in one recent poll he helped conduct. Yeah, people do not like the rich. There's a reason why Bernie Sanders' oligarchy tour is as popular as it is, and it's drawing in the crowds that it is, because people do not like the rich. They hate the fucking rich. People think our various laws and systems are broken. That's probably just new type of tax credit. Yeah, I don't think people don't want a new type of tax credit. Biden and Harris campaigns made Project 2025 a central boogeyman in the 2024 race, trying to yoke Mr. Trump to its most hardline provisions, including reshaping the federal government, curbing abortion rights and climate protections, and drastically reducing immigration. New York Times and Siena College poll showed only 50% of likely voters said they supported the policies in Project 2025. Well, too bad it didn't fucking matter, because, again, Trump just hardly talked about it, and since, again, American voters are fucking dumbasses, they didn't really tie it to him whatsoever. So, whatever. While 63% opposed. An NBC News survey showed Project 2025 was less popular than socialism. Hilarious, but whatever. Mr. Trump repeatedly disavowed the policy roadmap, which had been spearheaded by the Heritage Foundation, though it was drafted by many of his allies, and he aligned with many of its specifics. Russell T. Vogt, key architect, now leads the White House Budget Office. Yep, and they've pretty much implemented most of, like, probably like 80% of the agenda of Project 2025. So that's cool, fantastic, whatever. Editor of the New Republic, as well as the Democracy Journal, said Project 2025's political toxicity wouldn't mean that Project 2029 is fated to be unpopular. I don't know, considering the people that are on this policy board and potentially crafting this policy, I think it's not going to be very popular. People want radical populist ideas, not more third-way centrist fucking bullshit. Or abunda shit, okay? They want populism, broadly speaking, okay? They want corporations to finally pay some fucking taxes, and they want the social safety net to be bolstered. That's what they fucking want. Of course, Democratic candidates did engage in a spirited policy fight during the party's last open primary in 2019, but many in the party now point to that period as having dragged the party sharply to the left, even though Mr. Biden, who ignored the progressive wing during much of the period, ultimately won the nomination. Yeah, quick reminder, everyone was constantly talking about 2020 and about Medicare for all. Everyone was forced to have to fucking talk about it because of Bernie Sanders. Based, obviously, but centrist Voltron, unfortunately, was assembled in order to try to stop Bernie Sanders. And that some of Ms. Harris's comments that year included about a taxpayer funds to provide transgender surgical care to federal prisoners were used against her last year with devastating effect. Okay, like, was that fucking advertising campaign really even that effective? I don't really fucking think so, right? It might have been effective to make it such that Kamala Harris looks kind of whiff-waffly in her positions, not because she supports the policy of transgender surgical care for fucking federal person. Yeah, like, it doesn't really fucking hit. I'll be quite honest. People do not care about transgenderism, okay? Like, that's like one of the like least like lowest voted issues for people what they care about the most. They care about affordability first and foremost. Trump fucking campaigned on that shit constantly because he's just a fucking bigot and he has to appeal to his fucking base at all fucking times. Give them constant red meat to distract them. This was not an effective advertising campaign for Trump during his political campaign. It was dog shit, his political campaign. Just really bad. And it's just like a stupid distraction so he doesn't have to talk about anything substantive. That's like really the main point. Mark J. Dunkelman, a fellow at the Taubman Center for American Politics and Policy at Brown University, who's involved in Project 2029, said the effort's most important goal was to devise ways to connect to voters who have lost faith in the political system. Yeah, I don't think Neera Tanden's going to do a good job with that. I have bad news for you. I don't think third-way centrists are going to do a really good job with that. I think this shit's more or less dead in the water. All right, I've got everything I need to know here. Generally speaking, given the people who might be writing about this, now could I be pleasantly surprised when this policy proposal agenda comes out and is laid out? Sure, that's entirely possible. But given the fact that Jake Sullivan, third way centrist people are on there and Neera Tanden are on there, I'm not personally. Because keep in mind, you want to know who was one of the more aggressive attack dogs against fucking Bernie Sanders and progressives? Oh, it was fucking Neera Tanden. So, in my personal opinion, I think this Project 2029, I don't know, bullshit. It's probably not going to go anywhere. The brand of Project 2025 is also going to probably stain this quite a bit. Because, I don't know, people may be pretty stupid, but they're not that fucking stupid. They're going to be like, ugh, Project 2025 is shit. And this is probably also going to be shit. So why would I want to vote for this? We already know the polling on Abunda versus populism. And guess what? Democrats don't like Abunda all that much, okay? What is going to work in terms of a policy proposal is shit like what Zoran Mamdani is fucking proposing, okay? He is the fucking vibe shift. He is the pathway to fucking victory. Not this stupid centrist fucking whiff-waffly bullshit and shit that's being proposed by the abundance agenda, okay? Populism is the way forward. And all these motherfuckers are going to try to do everything possible to make it such that, we really do not want that to be the case at all costs. So, I don't really expect this to really go anywhere in particular. So, cool. That's great. Fantastic. Time for more ineffective, probable policy proposals to be proposed by the fucking Democrats. Very cool. Very good. Very based.